So you went out and got yourself a 5th gen 4Runner, and now you're ready to put some stuff in it to go off-road. Whether you're looking to store your audio equipment, camp kitchens, storage boxes, tools and equipment for your next trip, sometimes mounting it in the back of your 4Runner poses a potential problem. With our gear plate, it is going to be the perfect solution for mounting all of your permanently fixed items into the back of your 2010 to 2024 Toyota 4Runner. Hey guys, Brian here with TrailGrid Pro. Wanted to talk to you real quick and show you how easy the installation of our new gear plate is for our 4Runner. This gear plate is specifically designed for a 4Runner that does not have a 3rd row and also does not have the factory slide out tray. We've got a lot of stuff out here on a table. We have our kitchen system, we've got drawer systems, we've got our audio stuff, we got sub boxes, a whole list of gear that we want to try to fit in the back of our 2020 4Runner. You could say, Brian, I can just fit all of that in the cargo area, and you'd be absolutely correct. However, when you have big items like kitchen systems with your favorite ice-cold cooler mounted in them, you don't really want those sliding around, especially when off-roading and off-camber. You don't want those flying around and becoming potential projectiles or just your stuff falling out all over the place when you make it to camp. Our gear plate is going to mount seamlessly in the back of your 4Runner and be the perfect mounting solution for whatever you need to throw in your cargo area. So before we pack all of this gear into the truck, we first need to mount our gear plate. So let's jump into the back of the truck and I'll show you exactly how easy this install is. All right, guys, super simple disassembly to get the truck ready to accept the new gear plate. First thing we're gonna do is this factory cargo mat is gotta go. Next up, we are going to move into the truck and we need to remove the 2 D-rings towards the back seat as well as the floor trim. To remove the D-rings, we first need to get a pry tool. We're going to reach in and we're going to pop the plastic cover up and out of the way, and that will reveal a 10mm bolt. So let's grab our socket and we'll get that out. Once that's loosened up, we can set the D-ring and the plastic cup to the side. We're now going to repeat the process on the other side. Pop the plastic cover out of the way and remove the 10mm bolt. Again, we're going to set this to the side, but the other one. With both the D-rings removed, we can now remove the floor trim. We're going to pull it straight up and it's going to release. Our next step in disassembly is we're going to remove the rear D-rings. We will end up reusing these during installation, but for right now we need to get them out of the way. So let me show you how to do that with a pry tool and a 10mm socket. So we're going to pull our D-ring back. There's a little plastic cover here that covers the 10mm bolt. Again, we're just going to pry that up and out of the way, and now we can remove the 10mm bolt. And we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Now that we have the rear D-ring cups out of the vehicle, the only thing we need to do is remove the little retaining washer on the bottom of these, and then the factory bolt we're not going to reuse. There's a longer bolt included in your hardware, so this bolt can get removed and we're going to set that to the side. All right, so that wraps up the disassembly portion. Before we get into the installation of the gear plate, let's go over some procedural things. This is the time in the process where you would probably want to vacuum out and clean out the cargo area of your 4Runner, as this will be the last time for a while that your carpet sees the light of day. And while we're talking about the carpet, our recommendation is to leave the carpet material in the cargo area. It's going to help out with insulation and also sound deadening, and it's a nice stable platform for the gear plate to rest on. So our recommendation is to leave the carpet exactly where it's at. Last thing to keep in mind is this is a good time to put your gear plate in any of the items that you plan on mounting to your gear plate, this would be the time to mock those up, figure out where you want them mounted. Do you need to drill holes through the gear plate to secure those items? Sometimes that can be a lot of taking things in and out, and the last thing we want to do is securely mount our gear plate all the way to the truck, and then just to realize that we need to take it out because we need to put some sort of retaining hardware on the bottom or bolt our equipment in. So go ahead and mock it up now, make any mounting holes, anything you need to do, and then we can finish with the full installation of the gear plate. So for the purposes of this video, we're just going to show you how to install the gear plate, because obviously whatever you're mounting in your vehicle is specific to your build. Let's talk about some of the features of the gear plate for the 4Runner and some of the things that our team took into consideration when designing this. So this is a 3D scanned piece. So we scanned the back of the 4Runner so it fits perfectly. It gives you edge-to-edge coverage of the back of your 4Runner. We've taken into consideration the D-ring mounting location. So here on the top of the gear plate, you can see that we actually recessed the mounting location, so you can still use the factory D-rings to get a little bit lower profile. So if you need to mount things near or on top of them, that is perfectly okay. We've also made these custom support brackets. These will go here on the bottom, which will be towards the tailgate here. This will securely mount the back of your gear plate and then again attach to your factory D-rings, ensuring that this gear plate is not going anywhere, and it's going to be a nice stable platform for whatever accessories, kitchen, refrigerators, off-road gear, anything that you want to mount to it, that it's not going anywhere while you're on the trail or just driving around town. Included with all of these kits will also be all of the mounting hardware that you will need to secure the gear plate to the truck and the mounting brackets to the gear plate. We've provided all that for you. So really, this is a super simple install. The hardest part of this install is going to be figuring out where you're going to put all your stuff and how you want to mount it. But once you get it figured out, I'm telling you, this is going to be the perfect solution. Before we set our gear plate into our truck, I just want to give you the orientation in which it needs to go in the truck. So up here at the top, we have the square recessed areas. Those are going to go towards the front of the truck and use the mounting locations behind the back seat. You can see we also have circular cutouts here in the bottom. There's 4 of them. That's where we're going to attach our brackets, and then these will get secured to the rear D-ring mounting locations. So like I said, I'm going to pull it out, we'll slide it straight in. Your kit will also have 2 of the brackets. You will have 6 flat washers, and then you will have a bag of nuts and bolts. So let's go ahead and get the gear plate laid in, and then we can start going over where all of the hardware needs to go. Now that we have our gear plate laid in the back of our 4Runner, we're going to go ahead and start by putting our rear brackets in. So to do that, what we're going to need to do is just pop off the plastic piece here at the back of the 4Runner. If you have a panel tool, that's probably the easiest way. Just insert it underneath, pop it up, and then you can pull it up and out of the way. Now the brackets are the same, but we're going to orient them differently. So on the passenger side here, we want to flip our bracket over so that the long portion here is going to stick out here in the carpet. These 2 holes are going to line up with the holes in your gear plate, and then we're going to slide the larger flange on the bracket under the plastic, and that's what will be held in with our factory D-ring. So to do that, we're just going to lift up on the plastic here at the back, and we're going to work this in and under, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Then once we slide our gear plate in, we can start lining up our hardware. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lift up the plastic. We're going to take our bracket here, we're going to slide it under the plastic. And we're just going to mock it up right there for right now. And then on the driver's side, we're going to do the same thing, but instead of having the bracket this way, we're going to flip it so that the larger flange again goes under the plastic. Again, you're going to lift up on the plastic, take the bracket, kind of slide it under the plastic there. All right, and now we have our bracket lined up. We can now grab our gear plate and we're going to slide it down into place. Now that we have our brackets in, we have our gear plate loosely in place, now we can grab our hardware and we'll start loosely attaching all of our hardware to our brackets and our gear plate. Make sure that we got all 6 holes in the gear plate and the 2 holes here on the D-rings lined up. Once we're satisfied that everything's nice and centered, then we can go ahead and tighten everything down. So let's grab our hardware bag and we're going to start here with the brackets that we just installed. So in our provided hardware, we have a bunch of flat washers. We're going to use 4 of the flat washers. There's 4 of the hex nuts, and then the 4 shorter bolts that came with your hardware pack. We're going to use those to mount our gear plate to the bracket. So what we're going to do on each side is we're going to take one of the bolts, go through the flat washer. That's going to go through the gear plate, through the bracket, and then we're going to catch it with one of the hex nuts on the bottom side. Now, my recommendation for this is if you have a closed end wrench, you can use that, or if you have an open end wrench, sometimes putting a piece of blue painter's tape underneath will help hold the nut into the open end of the box wrench. And then that way, once you get everything kind of started, then you have something to grab on to and then tighten it all down. So again, we're going to loosely do this until we get everything started. All right, so you can see there, just a piece of blue painter's tape, stick your hex nut in there, and then that'll help keep it from when you push the bolt through, that it won't just drop out the bottom of your wrench. So let's grab one of our short black bolts, one of our flat washers, and then we will get it lined up and through the bracket. Now we have all 4 of our bolts started between our gear plate and our support bracket. Now we can grab our factory D-ring cups and we can go ahead and loosely put these back in place here at the back of the truck. Again, we're going to start these by hand and wait to tighten everything down till the end. Moving on, we have a couple options here when mounting these rear D-rings. You can either choose to use the factory D-ring, or you can use the other flat washer and then the 2 longer bolts that came in your hardware kit. You can mix and match these as you need. It's really up to however you want to lay out your cargo area. So for this purpose, I'm going to show you both because this customer is actually going to have a sub box mounted right here. So we want this to be completely flat. So for this side, we're going to use a flat washer and the longer bolt. So we're just going to go the bolt through the flat washer and then down into the factory threaded hole. We're going to move over to the other side where we're going to reuse the factory D-ring. All right, last D-ring here, we're going to reuse the D-ring. So in this case, we can just go bolt right through the D-ring, You can also do bolt through the washer through the D-ring. It's up to you. And then we're going to thread this one in by hand. At this point, you can give everything a final check, make sure everything's lined up just nice and exactly how you want it. But this gear plate is now ready to tighten down, and then we can wrap everything up. So let's grab our 10 millimeter. We're going to go around and we're going to tighten up all of our hardware. All right, so we've got our 4 D-rings tightened down. Now we just need to finish tightening the hardware from the gear plate to the support brackets. So to do that, I've left my 10 millimeter wrench in there, and then we're going to use a 10 millimeter socket on the top side and tighten those up. All right, all of our hardware is tightened down. This thing is ready to go. All we need to do is put our trim piece back. So we're just gonna line that up. Knock it into place. Make sure you fix your door seal. We now have a completely installed gear plate in the back of our 5th gen 4Runner. This thing looks super sleek. It's a nice solid surface. Doesn't matter if something gets spilled on it. This thing is going to stand up to your next trip. This is a great stable platform for whatever you're going to throw on it, throw at it, want to mount to it. If you're looking for awesome solutions for storage in your 2010 to 2024 4Runner, go ahead and pick yours up in the shop at trailgridpro.com. And like always, have a blast out there.